Good morning, friends. Today we are going to run out here and grab something to use in the house. We're going to be in the kitchen today making some really yummy stuff for winter. I'm Chrissy from Up the Windy Lane, and today we're going to make some fire cider. I'm pretty excited because I get to use some of my ingredients that I've been growing, like thyme and horseradish. The ginger is not ready, so we're going to use some dried ginger, but I don't have any dried horseradish. I think it's a little early to harvest the horseradish, but I am going to see if I can maybe grab some, because it has been in the ground. I've never harvested off of it, so it's been there 2 or 3 years, and we're just gonna see if that works. So I got my pouch, which actually I have all this and it needs to be out, but I do have my hori knife, which is awesome. So we're gonna go take that, we're gonna dig around it a little bit and cut some off. The garden is actually kind of a mess. Do you remember that comfrey that I cut completely back? Well, it's all came back out. And morning glories, don't plant them in your garden unless you just really like them, because you will have them everywhere. I'm telling you, they just put off so many seeds and sprout up everywhere. This is the horseradish bed. It was full of huge leaves. These all died back because there is a beetle or something on here. You can see that they're coming back out over here. This all needs to be moved. I've really got to move this, but I think I'm gonna look and see some over here, kind of dig around and see what I can find. You can see some ginger here growing up. They say this doesn't need to be harvested until winter, so that's unfortunate, but I do have quite a bit here, and then I've got some on the back patio as well. Alright, here's the bed with the thyme, so I'm just going to cut some of this off and take it in with me. I've actually transplanted this up by the house as well. I've had this plant, I don't know, for a while. I've got some in another bed as well. Alright, I got, what do I have here? I have horseradish, I have thyme, and I have some basil, only because I cut that little, I don't know, sprout up. I probably should have left it because I really do need it to flower. But I do have more. I think I'm going to dig one up and take it to my sister tonight. And so, you know, spread the herbs around that way, maybe. If hers flowers and has seeds, she'll share those with me in case mine don't. I've got like just branches of everything everywhere. It's crazy. I got something popping up on my phone. Got something popping up here. Okay. Get through the jungle. And, okay. We're going to take our little harvest here, and we're going to go ahead and head back to the kitchen. So when you get everything in, you want to go ahead and wash everything off, lay it out, let it dry. We're going to try this horseradish. We're going to see. It doesn't smell very spicy, but that's okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and, since I did bring this basil in, I'm going to go ahead and use it, and probably need to clean up my sink mess. So we're back in here and got our stuff together. I've got my jar. I was wanting to make it in a bigger jar, but all my gallon jars that I usually use for milking are being used right now. So I'm gonna have to think about that next year sometime, or just get some more, I guess. So I do have this book from Rosemary Gladstar, and it is the Herbs for Common Ailments. This is where her fire cider recipe is in. Now I'm basically going off of that. I'm also using one that I found online that I've made before, and I have notes on, so I just kind of make it how I want it. There is like a base, I guess you could say, and then you can add things that you want, maybe herbs you have on hand or ingredients you have on hand. You can just add those and make your own version. So I am going to be making a ½ gallon. So we're going to add a couple of onions. I'm going to go ahead and add 4 organic lemons. Everything I'm buying is organic except for the onions, because I couldn't find any. These are organic, especially important because I'm going to be cutting that whole, I'm going to be slicing it and putting it in the jar with the peel on it, because there are benefits in the peel and everything. So we're going to go with that too. Now, of course, the horseradish is from my garden, which hopefully will be okay. I do have heads of garlic, which we're going to put a couple heads of garlic in this recipe. I also, of course, have the apple cider vinegar, which is organic with the mother in it. This is what we're going to put in at the end and what we'll actually be drinking and using once it's strained. And then I also have black pepper. I'm going to add that, which is not in the recipes. A little bit of cayenne, some ginger, and turmeric. The reason I'm adding powdered ginger is because, of course, I don't have any of my ginger that's ready to harvest. And one more thing that I am adding this year is oregano leaves. Oregano is a great beneficial herb, and I have a ton of it. I have a whole nother jar full of oregano, so I definitely need to get these used. They still smell really good, so that's awesome. But like a normal-ish shelf life for dried herbs is about a year, so you definitely want to make sure that they smell okay, that they smell good, that they still have that good taste, that flavor. Otherwise, they probably just need to go to the compost pile or the chickens. So I'm going to use up these. I've had these for a little while, and they still smell good, so I'm going to go ahead and make that. I'm also going to make some oregano oil, which you need to check that out too, because I'll have a video for that as well. But right now, we're going to make fire cider. So you can see on here, this is the recipe I've used before, and I just made notes on it. I am going to make it a little bit differently. I did add turmeric. This time I'm going to add more. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons per quart. And I just, you know, kind of have in here what I used, and which is really helpful. See, I added oregano in time. Last time, forgot I had added oregano. I'm not going to add the lemongrass or the rosemary or the orange because I couldn't find organic oranges, and I think it's going to be really good. So this is actually a recipe or a tonic infusion. You could actually use this year-round if you wanted to. Take a teaspoon a day. Apple cider vinegar is really good for you if you've not ever looked up the benefits of it. Combined with all of these other things is really wonderful. Now, when you're actually sick, you would take more and take it more times a day, and until your symptoms start to subside. But other than that, you can use this as a great benefit to your health and to your gut every day. All right, I got you down here on the table with me, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm so glad I can smell today. I had to go wash my hands, and looked like I've been crying, and it wasn't the onions, it was the horseradish. So it's good. It's gonna add a little bit of a punch to the fire cider. So I did get this little bowl full, so I'm gonna put about half of this. That's what I've been doing, layering half of everything that I'm gonna use in this jar, and then I'm gonna put the other half, of course, in there, and then I will pour the apple cider vinegar over there, and hopefully I don't know that all of that's gonna fit in here because of the volume, but we'll see. So this is cayenne pepper, and we're just gonna add a very small amount. I'm not gonna pinch it because I don't want it in my fingers, but so this is a tablespoon measuring. I'm just gonna add a little bit in there right now in the middle. Okay, this is black pepper. I am going to add a tablespoon of black pepper, and that'll probably be all I add of that. So I'm going to set that aside. I may just add all of my herbs in the middle and then go with it from there. So looking at my recipe, let's see how much I added of ginger. I may have had a grated ginger, so I'm going to add a tablespoon of ginger. Again, I'm going to write all this down so I know what I did this year. I'm going to set that aside. Rosemary suggests 2 tablespoons per quart. So I'm going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons in here. Then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons at the end to kind of disperse the turmeric. So I'm going to add this over here with the cayenne. All right, so that's half. Oh no, forgot the oregano. All right, let's add the oregano. Gosh, I don't really know. Normally you're not probably supposed to mix these, but All right, I'm gonna add 2, and then I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons at the end. So I'm gonna write this down so I do not forget. Let's see, I'm making a half gallon. I'm adding 2 onions, 4 garlic heads. No, 2 garlic heads, 4 lemons. Let's see, 1 cup. I'm gonna go with 1 cup grated horseradish. See, no, I forgot one there. 1 tablespoon black pepper. Smidge cayenne. Smidge cayenne. What did I tell you? That's why I write stuff down, because I've already forgotten. Oh, ginger. I added ginger as well. I think I added 1 tablespoon. Go back and look at my video and see what I added, evidently. Okay. And I forgot the thyme, so we're going to add the thyme that's back here drying. Yeah, I totally forgot about the thyme back there. I'm going to go ahead and add this in the middle, and I'm just going to add all of it. Basil in there, only because I just had this. That's why it's good. Sometimes you just use what you have. A little garlic bulb. Getting kind of full. We'll just have to smash it down a little bit. I have quite the mess to clean up, but look at this beauty. How pretty. Look at all that yellow and the orange of the turmeric in there and the greens. I'm pretty excited. All right, now it is time to add the apple cider vinegar, but I think I have one. I do. I have one down in the cabinet that I just opened, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this one because I don't think both of those are going to fit in there completely. So there's no sense in opening both of them. So let's go ahead and get this filled up and cap it. Okay, so just like you do with canning, I'm gonna take my knife and I'm gonna kind of go around the edges of it to see if there's any air, because I didn't even get 1 whole quart in there. So I probably should have made this in a bigger jar. Okay, now because this is vinegar, I don't want to use one of my metal lids. I'm going to use one of my plastic lids, and I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to tighten it really tight, and then I'm going to kind of shake it up a little bit. I'm going to put my date on it, what it is, and I'm going to store it in my cabinet where I keep stuff, and I'm just going to mark on my calendar when it's time to look at it. This will probably take, I don't know, it could be 3 to 4 weeks. You can leave it 6 to 8 weeks. It's really your preference, but by 4 weeks you can use it. And so, you know, if we're feeling sick in 4 weeks, I will pull it out. If not, I'll just let it set for some longer, or for a longer time. I'm just kind of like, I really wanted to make more, so I'm gonna have to make more. I have more onions and more lemons and more garlic, so I'm gonna find me another jar. Also, I forgot to mention that when you use this up and you're making your fire cider, save these bottles. Save the insert and the top, all of it. I will strain mine and I will pour it right back into this glass bottle. That way I can just reuse this and I don't have to worry about buying something else. Now you can put it in smaller containers if you want to, more like serving size containers. I've seen that as well, but I just really like these, and we'll probably just put that back in here. Another thing is, most fire ciders, especially, I know Rosemary's, you do this too, and the other recipe as well. Now I have not done this with mine. I may try it with one of mine this year, but you actually add honey to it at the end. So when it's done, you strain it, you add in that honey, mix it up really well, and you have to refrigerate it, and then you use it that way. It does give it a little bit sweeter taste if you don't like that very vinegary taste, so keep that in mind as well. You can add that honey to give it like a little bit sweeter taste at the end. Your family might appreciate that a little bit. Hope you enjoy making your own. I really am gonna go, after I finish this, and I'm gonna go and make some more of this and put this in the cabinet. So this is packed full of goodies and I am really excited. I love fire cider. I will use it as dressing. I will take shots of it. I love vinegar though, so just really depends on your preference. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to be lovely lights today.